You're watching Unrendered on IKTV. I'm Tony Regisford, and my guest is Mr. Oscar Allen. He's the chairman of the People's Movement for Change. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at iConcepts. Oscar, so you got these letters sent out to the Christian Council and Prime Minister, etc., more or less calling for this sort of approach. And tell me what transpired?
Well, first of all, I don't think we were explicit and clear enough as to what we were asking for. And the impression was given, probably we gave the impression, that we were asking the two parties to run the relief work.
Right.
And so we have had to clarify a little more what it is that we considered the optimum, the best way to deal with what happened on Christmas, the Christmas storm. Right. And there are four things we are proposing. I may be able to deal with two of them. One is for a governing agency to be set up with persons from both parties. By governing, we don't mean that they will handle the relief work, only that they will set the principles for the relief work, the two parties together. Agree on assessing what the cost of the damage is. It's no use one saying it's 100 million and one saying it's 50 million. If you both say, this is the extent of the damage, agree on the basis of the information that you get. I mean, you share the information. Secondly, we would like those two people to have a method for prioritizing the projects that are necessary for reconstruction.
What would you see, therefore, as the role of NEMO, which I am told is the very organization that is set up for just that, to manage the post-disaster activities aimed at rebuilding and rebuilding and relief efforts. Now, the argument is that this is a legally constituted body,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Which the formulation of it would have been thoroughly discussed at the lawmakers level, at the political level, in the House, etc., right? So this body that you're suggesting, it may be argued that it already exists through the form of NEMO. Or are you saying that NEMO is politically tainted, or the perception is that they are, and therefore is not effective in dispensing that mandate?
Okay, I need to retreat a little bit in order to come forward on that
Sure.
There are four levels that we want to see this reconstruction work go. NEMO is one. The first one is this governing agency. When they make their decisions, it's only top level decisions, principal level decisions, not managing the Prime Minister and his cabinet. From there, the design and instruct what is to be done. The two-party thing doesn't do that. Beyond that, the NEMO carries out relief and rehabilitation.
Yes.
The government does reconstruction. NEMO doesn't build bridges and roads.
You're correct.
The government does that.
And the government identifies basically what are the priorities. Which bridge must be repaired first?
We are suggesting that the two parties.
Yeah, I'm saying what
method.
Yes. I'm just saying what obtains now.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah. But you're suggesting that
at this
that should be consulted. Yes.
A method. So we would say, they would agree. First kinds of things are human needs. Second kinds of things are infrastructure in the most devastated. Now the government then takes and runs with what is. But up here they do that.
But Oscar...
Wait. I'm
Yes, go ahead.
putting two other points before I want you to speak.
Yes, okay. I will listen to you.
Thirdly, after the government does its thing, we would like to see somebody like the Christian Council and what they call the NMCM, National Monitoring and Consultative Mechanism, made up of civil society organizations, monitor the process.
Right.
So whether it's NEMO doing this or the government doing that, this group is looking at everything and seeing that justice, effectiveness, efficiency goes ahead and reports to the public. And fourth of all, we would like the affected person, not just to be victims, waiting for things to come,
Yes.
but to have a dignified role, to voice what they think are the best for their communities and be listened to. So we are seeing a different kind of relief and reconstruction. The role of NEMO, which you ask about. If we have these other things in place, NEMO will act in the best interest of the government and the people, because there are agencies helping them to do right.
And what I was going to jump ahead of you and say when you correctly stopped me was what you are suggesting, using the floods as
Rationale.
what you want to address. Isn't that the bigger picture of that is a system, not just dealing with the floods, but how governance of the country must proceed? Is not leading into really not just this one-off event, right? But this sort of level of consultativeness where the competitive nature of politics does not prevail after an election, because one understands in the heat of an election there's competition, but once that's done, we come back now to an all-inclusive. The government's still the government, but an all-inclusive type of system where the community speaks.
You've put it right.
So you brought out the flood, but I'm saying why stop there?
That's where we are now. Let's do it. Suppose, God forbid, nobody listens, and we go down the road of divisiveness and go into an election possibly with bloodshed and bad hearts and feelings. And we can't move ahead in the way you and I envision. So let's try and have this implemented. Let's try and persuade the nation, people as well as leaders, that this is best for them and for us.
But the PMC, I would argue, yes, you, in as much as you've formed yourself, you've identified why change needs to come about. And we're talking about change here. We're talking about different ways of doing things here. The two political parties, the two mainstream political parties, ULP, NDP, they're locked into a thinking that my objective is to win the next election. None is better than the other as far as that is concerned. NDP would do things that suit NDP agenda. I think we have to accept that. ULP would do things that suits a ULP agenda. And what is that agenda? In the case of the ULP, maintain power, be the ruling party. Next election, let's win it again. NDP, shift from opposition to the ruling party. So you're not going to get that out of them. you're not. What I'm saying to you, they already locked, they bought into that script.
You're saying on their own.
On their own.
They're not going to move from that position.
They're not going to move on their own. They're not going to move from that
We
position.
must not leave them on their own, Tony.
So how does the PMC break that mold?
The PMC doesn't. The PMC engenders a conversation like you and I are having in the community so that more people begin to see another way, not only of handling the flood, but of handling our nation. But let's start with the flood and the way we do relief and reconstruction. I'll tell you, there are several influential agencies who have a feeling that what is going to happen in relief would not be equitable. And they're not sending resources to Nemo.
So it may just be a perception, but perception is reality. In that sense, when I say perception is reality, it is actually, the perception has actually determined the way somebody decides on something. Yes.
If we move in this direction, more resources are going to be available to do the work. I think both parties should want that. Not an NDP relief program, a government relief program, a ULP relief program, a Seventh-day Adventist relief program. A coordinated and united effort to attack this serious problem, which is going to be here for years. We're not going to reverse the damage of the storm in one budget year.
No.
Let's begin to do it right. That's what the PMC is saying. And we're asking the community to consider this point of view and to join us in promoting it.
So, as we sadly wind up this program, where are you with your efforts? Are your words falling on deaf ears thus far, in terms of the political directorate?
I don't think they are deaf. I think they are listening, not only to us, but to how much reverberation in the community our words have. They have not yet changed, but they are listening to see if what we are proposing multiplies in the minds of others. And if it does, they will consider it. If it comes from the PMC alone, they will not consider it.
You think if it comes from the PMC alone, you'd just be branded as antagonistic, basically, and therefore
branded and sometimes not even considered for a response. But we think that this is something that is so much near to the heart of our people that we would like people to join.
My final question to you in this program, and I am not one to pull people out on political views, and in fact, more and more I do these programs, the less and less I enjoy discussing politics, anyway. Politics in the way.
Partisan politics.
Partisan politics. But does Oscar Allen have political ambitions?
I was a politician from 1979 to 1989, a party politician.
Do you regret that? Was it a learning phase?
Oh, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. I was part of a party that had a vision different from these. In 1989, I resigned. I was then the leader of a United People's Movement. I said,
from which Dr. Gonsalves emanated?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm moving from political society to civil society. I'm going to work as a citizen, not fighting for power.
So do you think that's where meaningful change has to take place, at the grassroots level? At the civil level, the community level?
And rise. Rise up.
So it's got to rise up.
Yeah.
Mr. Allen, thank you very much for being a guest on Unrendered, and I'm certainly going to have you back here. I think this time you would come with greater enthusiasm. That is, to come on the program. So I'm going to send an invitation
I look forward to
again.
see you again.
Thank you for coming. This has been another edition of Unrendered. My guest was the chairman of the People's Movement for Change, Mr. Oscar Allen. Thank you for viewing.